Interception on Saturday, one of 6 turnovers forced by this USC defense. This segment of Trojans Live is brought to you by Allstate. The Trojans are in good hands with the captain, Chris Hawkins, joining JJ and I now. And you know what's fun about you, Chris? I would say 90% of the athletes JJ and I talk to, when we ask about leadership, they'll say, oh, I'm working on leadership. I'm not a vocal leader, though. I like to lead by example. Well, you are a vocal leader, Chris. We can admit to that. So tell us, were you always a vocal leader? Is that something you've developed because you are, really important voice on this team?
I think leadership is something that really comes naturally. For me, my dad has, always told me that I need to be a leader out there no matter what. So, when I came in as a freshman, I was, very quiet, following the footsteps of, CHawk, Kevon Seymour, and guys like that. And then, I'm the 5th-year senior now, so now it's my turn to, do what I have to do to lead my unit.
You got guys dropping like flies, to be quite honest with you. A lot of guys getting hurt around you. And I know that, similar to Sam on the offensive side, guys need to look for somebody that's sort of steady and being in there, doing their assignment and always being in the right place. You have been that person. You're 4th on the team in tackles, which may be good or bad considering your safety. Yeah. But you're 4th on the team in tackle and just seem to be in the right place all the time. Is it just a byproduct of the maturity, a byproduct of being in the system? What is it?
Yeah, I'm 22 years old. That's pretty young for a 5th-year guy. But 22 years old, and I've been in this defense for 3 years now. I count my first year as, being in the defense. Although I didn't really get to play, I learned a lot from it. So, being in the defense, I know exactly where to be. And I do a lot of film study. So I know certain things that, offenses are going to try to do. Like last week, Cal tried to throw a double pass, in the first.
You were all over that one.
Yeah, the first drive of the game. I seen it, I just attacked, wherever the ball was going to be at. But, it's just my maturity. I'm older now. So, I understand the game a lot more than the younger guys do.
And how do you develop the film study? It's one thing to sit in front of the projector and watch a bunch of film, but also the studying part of it. How far have you come in that part of it, of, the quality of the studying, not just the amount of minutes you're in there?
Yeah, I've came a long way. As a freshman, I used to just watch it, not really write nothing down. When it was time for me to play, I couldn't really remember what was going on. So I started watching film with CHawk, who was one of the smartest football players I've ever been around. And he always told me, whenever you watch film, you got to have a pen with you. So every time I watch film, I have a pen with me. If I see some tendencies that the offense is showing, I write it down. If they get in certain formations to show certain plays, and I write it down. And, I take that back and I share it with, everybody on the defense.
So when you go into a week like this, have you already started looking at Washington State film? And obviously, you're not going to give away any secrets you picked up, but what makes game planning for Washington State? You're going to get a lot of balls thrown this week, and the best quarterback you guys have seen so far. What are you seeing on film that makes them so difficult?
Yeah, I started watching Washington State as soon as I got home on Saturday night. We got home at around 8 o'clock, and I went home and turned on my iPad. I watched the film from our game that we just had, and I immediately turned on Washington State, knowing that we're going to get one of the best QBs in the country, a deep receiving core, and they have a great group of running backs that can really catch the ball and get vertical. So, it's something I wanted to get a head start on, knowing that it's a short week. And just while watching film early, you get a jump on, everybody. Right. It's certain things that you do when you're watching film that can really help you on the field. You can really call out plays and, help your defense out handedly.
Being a receiver, I don't like to talk about this stuff, when it talks about big hits and things of that nature. But you had a big hit in the game against Cal this last week against Noah. We had Ronnie Lott on earlier, which this is turning into a major league defensive show because he's a big hitter as well. Yeah. But things have changed for this year, for your generation. You just can't go and lay people out and use your helmet, things of that nature. It was a big deal when, UCLA played Stanford over the last week where guys are getting ejected. Take me through or walk me through the mindset of when you have that opportunity. First of all, you have to resist leading with your head to make the proper hit, but also be as effective as your hit was on Saturday.
First off, I would like to say that Elijah Holder's targeting call in the Stanford UCLA game was, I don't understand how you want, someone to tackle.
I agree with
that. You tell us don't go high, but when we go low, and the receiver goes low with you.
Yeah, the ball carrier dropping his head.
Yeah, so I don't understand. They got to start calling targeting on the offense.
Yep.
If that's going to be the case. But, I mean, when you're going through certain situations, you always have that thought in your mind. You know, you don't want to get lost for a game, especially, you know, me being a captain, me being back there, being a quarterback back there. I don't want to get lost for a game. So, I mean, going through that play with Noah, we were in a defense where I had 2 vertical. I mean, I seen him. It was 3rd down. I read the quarterback the whole time. I drove, and I seen him really extend for the ball. So he had his arms open, and I just hit him in his ribs with my shoulders. I didn't want to run through him. You know, I didn't want to put my head down because the first thing they're going to do is call targeting.
Yep.
And, you know, I mean, me being lost is like losing Cam Smith, you know, with Chinawusu up front.
Right.
You know, it's the quarterback of the defense. You know, so I didn't want, you know, myself to, you know, get lost in the game or anything like that.
But you're actually thinking about that during the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You have
Okay.
to. Because if you just go in there, you know, full speed with your head down, I mean, they're going to call it no matter what part of the body you hit. If you have your head down, you're leading with the crown and your helmet. You're forcing your way through a offensive player with your head down. It's automatically, you know, going to get you ejected from the game.
All right, last one, Chris. You have a lot of patches on your jersey, I noticed on Saturday. I wanted to ask you, which one means more to you? One says C, that's captain, that's what you've earned on the football team over the last few years. One says graduate, that's what you've earned in the classroom over the last few years. Which one means, what does each mean to you?
I mean, graduate, I mean, it's just showing, you know, all the hard work I've put in the classroom as well. You know, everybody thinks, you know, we just come here to play football, you know, but I've actually gone to school. I've gone to class. You know, I've passed every class I've taken, you know, at USC. I haven't dropped anything. So, you know, that just shows the hard work and determination. It shows the fans, you know, the people on TV, you know, that I'm actually, you know, I'm a real student athlete. So, you know, but the captain, being a captain of the USC football team is, it's nothing like it. I mean, you got to think about the past guys, you know, the Matt Leinerts,
Yep.
you know, the Cody Kesslers, all the guys that were captains before me. You know, even my best friend, Michael Hutchings, you know, he was a captain last year. He was a great captain for us last year. And just to know that these are your peers, you know, picking that for you, you know, that's the highest honor you can possibly have. This weren't the coaches. It was your actual, you know, your players. You know, they feel some type of way about you to let the world know that you're their captain.
All right, forget 2 points for safety. Try up to 20% with the Allstate Distinguished Driver Discount. Safe drivers can instantly save up to 20% on car insurance just for having a clean driving record. And that's on top of other discounts. Call 1-410 Los Angeles area Allstate agents today. Thank you to Chris Hawkins. Thank you for patiently waiting. The head coach is here. Clay Helton is next on Trojans Live.